All right, here's the problem and the solution. Spelling out the problem. Our friend, Dr. John Morris, I want you to notice this. This is minus 3b. It's a dinosaur track, a long dinosaur track. That's a digit. There's a digit there and a digit over there. It didn't come out clearly here. Right in the middle of that dinosaur track is as perfect a human footprint as you could want. All 5 of the toes, including the great toe, metatarsal arch, instep medial section of the longitudinal arch, and the bulge in the lateral arch. Unique to mankind alone. Here, just above it, are the same toe prints pushed into the rock. So that's what we have. So what happened to that track? Actually, we have on display here in the museum on the other side a cast of that track. Our friend, Dr. John Morris of the Institute for Creation Research, the finest creation research body of credentialed scientists in the world, writes regarding the Taylor Trail site. Many of the human-like prints developed ghost overprints surrounding the elongated foot shapes. Oh my. While the human foot shape remained indented, now get it, the human foot shape was deeper. It was enveloped by a striking 3-toed dinosaurian shape with a distinctive rust color, just a coloration, different from the gray limestone. The tracks are too ambiguous to make a clear determination. So why did Dr. Morris back up? He wrote one of the books. You see, we each have our own battles to fight. His brother, the president of Institute for Creation Research, Dr. Henry Morris III, came down and we discussed this matter, and he said, our greatest opposition does not come from the outright atheist and the leading evolutionist. They know their case is propped up. He said, our greatest opposition comes from pastors. They have people on their committees and their deacon board who are associated with a local university, or some of them credentialed scholars in these fields, and they have been taught that the long ages are there. There is no scientific support for any of that. It is assigned. But they've been taught that and they believe it. Some of them are outright evolutionists, even though they've trusted Christ. You say that's impossible. There was a time I held to evolution. I was wrong. And I had absolute discord in my mind. It was a terrible position to be in. But a Christian can be there. So rather than rock the boat and disturb the congregation, the pastor's just advised, why don't you just leave it alone? So the greatest opposition comes not from the atheists. They know their cases is propped up with supposition, but from pastors, unfortunately. So ICR backed up a little bit, and they're our friends. ICR holds rigorously to the view that dinosaurs lived at the same time with man. They have not compromised that in the least, but feels that the Paluxy may not provide useful evidence for this. Why? Because they have to choose their battles. I can't fight every battle that comes up, neither can they. So I've got this battle to fight in Glen Rose, and most of the creationists are just letting me fight it. But that's fine, because we have the evidence here, and anyone who really wants to know the evidence, scientific evidence, can actually see it. Okay, others hold different views, and ICR encourages them to continue searching for evidence that could convince a skeptic. Their position is, unless your evidence would convince a skeptic, it's not all the scientific evidence that's needed. Well, like Stephen Jay Gould and Richard Dawkins look straight at the evidence. I don't see this. I don't see that. You remember Schultz? Yeah. I don't see that. I know nothing. I know nothing. Well, that's the position many of them take. But so ICR encourages everyone to go ahead and consider the evidence and make up their own mind. So that's a good position. Dr. Morris continued to write, in Australia are elongated human-like shapes, not with toes, but an hourglass shape. Human footprint-like shape, the hourglass shape, not the toes. In the center of three-toed prints, indicating the presence of a central pad that left a mark under rare conditions. Could a similar rare set of circumstances be responsible for the human-like shape within so many of the large dinosaur prints at Paluxy? So he simply asked the question, but remember, in Australia, they simply have the hourglass pad, not the distinctive toes.